luxury travel docks here at the 9/11 Memorial Site with the former commissioner of the New York Police Department at the time, Bernie Kerik. It's an honor that he has taken time out of his weekend to give us a private tour around the city to discuss the happenings of that day and the aftermath. I don't know about you, but for me, I remember specifically where I was that day due to the unique nature of that tragedy. I'd like him to say a few words to us about not only the meaning of this memorial to him, but also the loss that we suffered as individuals and as a nation on that day.
On that morning, I was in my office when the first plane hit Tower 1. I got down to the site within 7 or 8 minutes. I was waiting for the mayor when the second plane slammed through the north side of the south side of Tower 2. When you see that big fireball of the explosion bouncing out of the north side of the tower, I was standing under it, and ironically, this is where Tower 2 stood, right here. So that plane, that second plane, hit this side of the building, blew out the north side of the tower. When I come down here, it's surreal. I'm glad the memorial's here. I'm glad that there are people here to pay the respects. To see the names on the memorial of the people that work for me. I lost 23 cops. We lost 343 firefighters, 37 Port Authority police, and another 1,700 civilians at the time. And if I had to tell the public a few things to really never forget that there are probably around 2,300 names here, but we've lost close to that same number in cops and firemen since, as a result of illnesses. Half the New York City Police Fire Department right now are still very sick as a result of toxins and things that were, as a result of the towers. Never forget what these men and women did, and I think most importantly, to always be reminded, they effected the greatest rescue mission in the history of this country. There were 2 buildings here that were 110 stories high. The men and women, the first responders of New York City, took 25 to 30,000 people out of these buildings or from the surrounding buildings, but then they evacuated close to 1 million people out of southern Manhattan into the 4 boroughs, into New Jersey, with the help of the New Jersey police departments and state police. So that's something that can never be forgotten, and never forget who did this. We live in a time today where I see members, politicians in Washington, who are afraid to denounce the people that did this. Don't forget who did this. Don't forget what happened here, because if we forget and we put that behind us and we're not vigilant and we get complacent and we don't pay attention, they're going to come back and do it again in another way. And as somebody that was here on that day and responsible for the 55,000 men and women that work for me, I don't want to see that happen for my kids, for yours, and for the rest of the generations to come.
Well, thank you for taking the time to do this with us today. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your leadership. And thank you for your friendship.
Thank you.
I think this is kind of the ultimate and meaningful travel in the United States. I highly recommend that if you visit the city that you come here and take a tour, and definitely come outside and look at the names and remember that freedom isn't free. Thank you.